Here are some scary stories from the London Borough of Lewisham. These have been submitted to us by different people who have experienced some pretty strange things over the years. In the heart of Lewisham, where history and modernity collide, the air is thick with tales that send shivers down the spine. From ghostly apparitions in old buildings to mysterious sounds in the dead of night, the borough holds secrets that are both fascinating and terrifying. Tonight, we delve into these chilling accounts, starting with a night that would forever alter the course of one person's life. It was a dark and stormy night. The wind howled through the trees, and the rain pounded against the windows. I sat alone in my room, feeling a sense of unease that I couldn't shake. Little did I know, this night would change my life forever. I worked at a rather large hospital in southeast London in the A&E department. I've been there for a few years. I don't want to mention the hospital. However, I will say that we treated the first COVID patient in the UK, and it was on the national news. I recall that day we literally had only one patient walk through the door. Let's just say it was probably the quietest day that the hospital had ever seen since it opened. Anyhow, I live quite close to the hospital. It's only a 10-minute walk and usually a pleasant one. My morning walk consists of passing through a very old graveyard with a stunningly beautiful church at the end of the passage. There's like a picturesque passage that runs through the centre of the graveyard between the park on the main road. It's a very pleasant walk. Anyhow, like many people at the start of the pandemic and during the lockdown, many of us were prone to very strange and vivid dreams. It was a worldwide phenomenon of collective trauma. So when I started dreaming about a woman with a pig's nose standing in that church passage late at night, telling me I'm barren, I thought nothing of it. It's just a strange dream, right? I mean, everybody's having strange dreams right now. Anyhow, one beautiful morning, I was walking down the passage and I came across a man who is quite well known to the local mental health services and the hospital. He approached me and asked me for a cigarette. I couldn't lie and say I don't smoke because he'd probably seen me standing outside the hospital on multiple occasions having a cigarette break. When I say he's well known, the man was literally part of the furniture, known by name to pretty much every security team, as he was troublesome. I had decided to just give him a ciggy to avoid any drama. After all, it was very early morning, and just the two of us on this semi-isolated stretch of passage. I was rooting through my bag to find my cigarettes and give him one, when he started rambling on about a room in his mother's house, where a lady was talking to him from under the floorboards. Strange, I know, but this guy, he was a day patient for the local mental health service. So I just listened to him, and by the end of his ramblings, he said to me that the lady under the floorboards, she had a pig's nose. My ears, of course, perked up, and my attention was now fully on his ramblings. His voice grew louder and he came right up to my face. He said quite slyly, "She told me to tell you, you're barren." I looked at him in shock, remembering my weird dream. "What the hell?" he continued to shout in my face. "You're barren, you're barren, you're barren." His voice raising in intensity as he kept repeating it over and over and over. I threw a cigarette into his hand and fled. He stood there as I was walking away at speed, repeating, "You're barren." I recently found out that I have a condition called endometriosis, so I probably am barren, which is an old term for infertile. And the real kicker is the site of the church, and the graveyard is a very old, practically ancient pilgrimage site, where the area got its name. Ladywell. Infertile women would visit the well and pray for a child. Even the church is named after Our Lady. The site is so ancient, the location of the well has been lost over time. Please like and subscribe for more eerie tales.